If you know how to ride a bike, please raise your hands. Take yourself back for a moment to when you learned. Where were you and who were you with? Who helped you learn and how did you learn? This is Hamish, my son. He's probably about 5 in this photograph, and we were on a family holiday where he was determined to learn to ride his new bike. And his prize was that if he managed to ride to the end of the road unaided, then we'd go into the wee sweet shop, he'd get some sweets and he'd ride back. So every day for about 10 minutes we went out and we practiced. I got a sore back holding him up, I ran behind him, I pulled him out of the bramble bushes several times, and I cheered when he succeeded. And this is Hamish today. And it just goes to show that once we learn a skill, we can achieve remarkable things with it. Now, could you or Hamish have learned to ride your bike through any other way than trial and error? A book, an app, an inspirational TED talk perhaps? No. We learn by having the space, the time, and more importantly, a guide to encourage us. Someone who knows how we learn and who picks us up when we fall off. And when you think about it, learning to ride a bike is a remarkable achievement. That moment when you get balance for the first time, do you remember it? And you look behind and you realise the person that you thought was holding you up and doing it for you isn't there any longer. And you're doing it by yourself. And the joy and the freedom and the independence that that brings is incredible. Now, many skills are like that. People couldn't have explained balance to you, and many skills are similar in the way that they can't be explained. And many of us have great ideas, but we don't always have the ability to turn those ideas into action. And entrepreneurship can transform that. So what is entrepreneurship? More than a spelling mistake, that's for sure. It's simply acting like an entrepreneur inside a large organisation. It's not new. It's a term that's been around since the 70s, but its time has come, particularly for those of us who want to change people's lives for the better. Most of our organisations are too busy to enable people to be entrepreneurial. We're so focused on delivering today rather than transforming for tomorrow, and our corporate immune systems are very adept at killing off new ideas. So how can we develop those skills? Well, let me tell you about what happened in a Scottish children's charity that I worked in, where I could see people had great ideas. I could see senior leaders who wanted to hear those ideas. I was one of them. But we got stuck. And we got stuck because people argued their ideas with great conviction and great passion, but we rarely had the information to help us to decide which ideas to invest in and which not. So often people were asked for more information about their ideas, which simply created frustration on both sides. So I knew change was needed. And I'd seen an example in the private sector where entrepreneurs pitched for investment. And I knew the same principles could apply, provided they were adapted. In fact, I had tried something similar and failed. I guess you could say I fell off my bike, and it was pretty sore at the time. So we enabled people to pitch for investment. This is Corin and Stuart. They had an idea about how to improve the way short breaks for children with disability were provided. Usually delivered in the same building, they wanted to provide a much wider range of activities and accommodation and much more choice. So they developed their idea, but they did so in a disciplined and a measured way. They pitched for and secured investment, and that meant they could develop a market-tested prototype, meaning that young people like these were able to choose from a broader range of activities, which meant those activities were much more meaningful and they improved their well-being. And the idea was so successful, it's been rolled out nationally. But importantly, Corin and Stuart said, if it wasn't for this process, this would just have remained a good idea. Now, when the human genome was mapped, that was a big problem that required big problem-solving capability. So what helped achieve that? A supercomputer. Now, what's a supercomputer? Simply a network of computers joined together, connected and switched on. Now, on their own, these are pretty standard, but when you get them working together, we can achieve remarkable insight. And we can create supercomputers of people by creating communities of entrepreneurs. Just imagine having inside our organisation not just one or a handful, but a vast community of entrepreneurs, generating ideas and creating insight, sharing knowledge and finding the solutions that we need for the future. That would create a critical mass and drive change. And all we need to do is to find our entrepreneurs, switch them on, develop them and connect them. And you might be thinking that all sounds a bit fanciful, but we're building that community already. We're training senior leaders, entrepreneurs and judges. And those entrepreneurs are often frontline staff who've never done anything like this before, who pitch to the judges who are their peers. This is Geraldine and Jimmy. They had an idea for a multimedia activity group that would enable people to learn creative and digital skills in a socially stimulating environment while also having the potential to generate income. They secured investment, and Jimmy said, learning about business modelling was invaluable. I never thought it would be, but it helped us realise how many assumptions we made and that we had to change our idea. Geraldine said, learning about corporate storytelling was fantastic. It helped us to get our idea across and get to the point. This is Lycia. She also won investment for an idea about how to improve the support for siblings of children with disability and improve family life. Lycia works for Cornerstone, a charity with a turnover of £37 million and a staff group of 2,000. And Lycia said, Cornerstone started with just an idea. Who's to say that our idea can't be as big one day? And to be given the confidence to think like that is amazing. By learning about entrepreneurship, Corinne, Stuart, Geraldine, Jimmy and Lycia all turned their ideas that they'd been talking about for months and sometimes years into actions that are changing people's lives. And there are many, many thousands of entrepreneurs in our public, private and charitable organisations, and you could be amongst them. So let's find our entrepreneurs. Let's switch them on, develop them and connect them, because that will change the world. So let's take another big step forward in building that community of entrepreneurs today. If you think entrepreneurship is a good thing, then stick your right thumb up in the air and keep it there. That's a clue. If you are or you want to help somebody to be an entrepreneur, then stick your left thumb up in the air and keep it there. And just hold it there for a wee moment, have a good look around and see who's joining us. Thank you very much.